Welcome back to the Weekly Education Pulse. I'm Sammy.
And I'm Tony. Each week we break down the key developments shaping the international and independent schools sector.
Yeah, this week we have 5 stories from 5 very different parts of the world: Vietnam, Italy, England, Hong Kong, and Portugal.
What connects them is something that we've been tracking all year: the way educational heritage travels, how institutions with decades or centuries of history find new contexts, new communities, and new relevance, without losing what made them worth exporting in the first place.
Well, taking that into account, let's dive into it.
So we begin this week in Vietnam, where King's College School Wimbledon has announced it will open a new campus in Ho Chi Minh City, set to welcome students from August 2027.
Yeah, King's College School Wimbledon was founded in 1829 under a royal charter, originally as a preparatory school for, King's College London. It is one of the UK's leading independent schools, and this announcement marks its second Southeast Asian campus, following its entry into Bangkok back in 2020.
Ho Chi Minh City campus will serve students aged 2 to 18, offering IGCSE, GCSE, IB, diploma and A-level pathways. Crucially, governance and quality assurance will be managed directly by the King's College in Wimbledon, not delegated to a local operator. Staff in Vietnam will be trained to UK standards through teacher exchange programs, mirroring the model that already takes place in Bangkok.
Yeah, the context here really matters. The data from ISC research shows Vietnam among the top 5 countries globally for newly opened international schools, seeing a 42% increase over the past 5 years. The UK government has identified Vietnam as one of 5 priority markets in its new international education strategy, which targets £40 billion in education exports by 2030.
And the response from Ho Chi Minh City's education director is telling. He describes King's College Wimbledon's arrival not just as a new school of choice for local families, but as a demonstration of long-term commitment and serious investment in Vietnam's education development.
Yeah, that framing education as partnership between countries rather than simply export from one to another is increasingly how these international expansions are being positioned. And given how rapidly the market in Vietnam is developing, the schools that arrive now with genuine governance, rigorous standards, and a long-term mindset are the ones likely to define what premium education means over the next decade.
And the next story is one of those moments where a royal visit and a school announcement arrive in the same week, and the connection is entirely genuine.
Yeah, Princess Kate has made her first official overseas trip since her cancer treatment, traveling to Reggio Emilia in northern Italy. The visit is focused on the Reggio Emilia educational approach, a philosophy of early childhood education that emerged in post-war Italy and has since influenced schools around the world.
And the story of its origins are remarkable. In the years after the Second World War, local residents in Reggio Emilia, many of them women, sold scrap metal left behind by the retreating German forces, including a shell of a tank, to finance some of Italy's first nursery schools. Those early efforts led educator Loris Malaguzzi, working alongside community families, to become the foundation of an approach that's now recognised globally.
Yeah, the core insight of the Reggio Emilia approach is that children are not empty vessels to be filled with knowledge. They are competent, curious individuals capable of constructing their own understanding. And that understanding should be expressed through many forms: movement, drawing, building, conversation, and play. Nature, relationships, and community are all at the heart of Reggio Emilia.
Reggio Emilia has 89 infant toddler centres and preschools with enrolment for children aged 3 to 6, close to universal. Kate's visit draws directly on her work with the Royal Foundation Centre for Early Childhood, which she launched in 2021. And her consistent argument is that the quality of a child's earliest experiences determines outcomes across health, well-being, and achievement for decades.
Yeah, and in the same week as Kate's visit, one of Rome's international school groups has announced something significant. The Ingenium Education Group, which operates Acorn International School and St. Francis International School in Rome, has announced it will formally integrate the Reggio Inspired Approach across both schools from September 2026, from early years through to the IB.
What makes that announcement ambitious at this is the age range. Reggio is most commonly associated with young children. Embedding its philosophy as a structural element of teaching and learning all the way through to secondary education requires a genuine institutional commitment, not just an approach to a nursery classroom.
Yeah, so for international families in Rome, it offers something increasingly rare. A school group that has made a specific and meaningful pedagogical commitment and done so at a moment when the approach itself is receiving global attention.
And now we move to our third story, which takes us to the south of England, where Brighton College has announced that it's establishing its first school in Hove.
Yeah, from September 2026, Windlesham School and Nursery, a well-regarded prep school serving children aged 3 to 11, will become Brighton College Prep Hove. From September 2027, St Christopher's School will join it on the same site, bringing together two Hove institutions into a single unified prep school community.
Drayton College is committing £3 million to enhance the campus, new playgrounds, outdoor learning spaces, and improvements across what is already an impressive site with extensive grounds.
Yeah, what is noticeable in this announcement is what Brighton College is explicitly not doing. There are no plans to increase pupil numbers. The intention is to preserve the warm, nurturing, small school ethos that has defined both Windlesham and St Christopher's. This investment in quality, not expansion for its own sake.
That is a considered approach from one of England's most decorated independent schools. Brighton College has been named School of the Decade, ranked first nationally for A-level results in 2024, and shortlisted for the 2026 Tatler Schools Guide alongside Eton as one of the best 5 schools in the country.
Yeah, Brighton College Prep Hove will become the fourth prep school in the Brighton College family, joining campuses in Kemptown, Hancross, and London. Richard Cairns, principal of Brighton College, describes it as a landmark moment, finally adding "and Hove" to the family some 25 years after the city itself did.
That is a line worth appreciating. It captures something important about how schools grow well, with a sense of place, a sense of humour, and a clear understanding of what they're building and why.
And from the south of England, we are going to our fourth story, which is in Hong Kong, where St. Bee's School, a Cumbrian independent school founded in 1583, has partnered with Anchors Academy to establish what will be Hong Kong's first independent sixth form college.
The sixth form college will be housed in a converted 60,000 square metre facility in West Kowloon, serving students from year 10 through to year 13. It will offer both an international pathway, IGCSE and A-level, and the local Hong Kong Diploma of Secondary Education, giving families genuine curriculum choice within a single institution.
Yeah, for Anchors Academy, this is the final piece of an ambitious long-term plan. The school has been one of Hong Kong's leading kindergarten and primary institutions for more than 25 years. It is simultaneously launching a junior secondary division at its Yuen Long campus. Together, these two developments complete a seamless K-12 15-year educational pathway for Anchors families from age 2 through to secondary graduation.
The St. Bees partnership brings something the school genuinely values. That 440 years of academic heritage, a track record of graduates admitted to Oxford, Cambridge, King's College London, and leading universities in the US, Canada, and Australia, and notably a former Vice Chancellor of the University of Cambridge joining the school board.
Yeah, what's interesting about this announcement is that it signals something about Hong Kong more broadly. There's been significant discussion over recent years about how Hong Kong's educational landscape is evolving and what demand looks like now for international pathway education. This development, a new institution, a new format, a 60,000 square foot purpose-built college, represents a serious investment in the continued relevance of that pathway.
The West Kowloon location is also deliberate. Positioned at a major transportation hub, close to cultural institutions and the broader West Kowloon Cultural District, the college is placing itself at the heart of one of Hong Kong's most dynamic and internationally connected neighbourhoods.
And we're going to our final story this week, which is in Portugal, where CLIP, the Oporto International School, has officially join Duke's education?
CLIP was founded in 1988 and is one of Porto's most established international schools. It is co-educational all through from 3 to 18 years old, home to approximately 1,200 students, and offers a curriculum based on the English national curriculum, leading to Cambridge IGCSE and A-levels, and it has held full CIS accreditation since 2013.
Yeah, and for Duke's education, this marks a significant further step in its Portuguese strategy. CLIP becomes the group's sixth school in Portugal and its second in Porto, alongside Collegio Julio Diniz. Duke's now operates schools across 10 countries, being the UK, Croatia, Czechia, Greece, Ireland, Poland, Romania, Spain, Switzerland, and Portugal.
What is consistent across the Duke's education partnership is that clear pattern. Established schools with strong identities and loyal communities join the group not because they're struggling, because of what makes the group makes possible. Access to a global talent pool, teacher and student exchanges, shared best practice, and a long-term investment framework.
Yeah, the CLIP CEO frames the partnership as aligned values rather than a change of direction. Both organizations see the potential for young people to lead extraordinary lives, equipped through innovation, international mindedness, academic excellence, and resilience. That language of alignment matters because the schools that join groups poorly tend to be the ones where the cultural fit was assumed rather than tested.
CLAP's leadership and operation frameworks remain unchanged. And the welcome event held in Porto on the 5th of May, bringing together Duke's leadership and the wider CLAP community, was by all accounts a genuinely warm occasion that reflected the strength of alignment between the two.
So, as Duke continues to build its European network, the CLIP partnership adds depth in a market that has been growing interest from international families and a corresponding rise in demand for internationally recognized qualifications.
And that brings us to the end of this week's episode.
Yep, 5 stories this week, and across all 5, the same underlying question. What does it mean to take something that has been built with care over years or decades or centuries and bring it somewhere new?
King's College London carries 200 years of Royal Charter history into Ho Chi Minh City. A post-war Italian philosophy travels from a small northern city to inspire Rome's international classrooms. Brighton College extends its name and its value 10 minutes down the road, and a 440-year-old Cumbrian school opens in Hong Kong's first sixth form. And a 30-year institution in Porto finds a global home without losing its local identity.
Yeah, what all these stories have in common is intentionality. The schools and groups in each of these announcements are not expanding because they can, they're expanding because they have a clear idea of what they stand for and a genuine belief that it is worth sharing.
A clarity of purpose, more than brand recognition or capital, is what tends to make these ventures work.
So, if there's a development in your region that we should be covering, please do get in touch.
We'll be back next week with another global update.
Till then, we'll see you next time.